We are approaching rumors of impeachment. According to an article that I just read, I think McCarthy is I guess teasing bringing up impeachment. Let me just say this, just real quick. I do not understand how Republicans are always 400 steps behind Democrats when it comes to this stuff. I don't understand how we've taken this long to impeach Biden, and they impeached Trump twice in his administration. And it was all bullcrap, complete bullcrap. I mean, what if they impeach him for the first time? A phone call in Ukraine? Like, let's put this in perspective. Let's put this in perspective before I lose my salvation. Donald Trump was on the phone with the Ukrainian President Zelensky. The conversation was recorded. The conversation was transcribed. That means we have a record of what he said. Now, in the transcription of the conversation, it was kind of a transcription summary. So it wasn't word for word, but it was summarized as to the conversation and the details that went on with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and Zelensky. Zelensky comes out and say there was nothing wrong with the conversation. There was nothing illegal. We didn't talk about anything nefarious. It's a good conversation. Donald Trump said the same thing. They impeached him over it. Now, Joe Biden actually committed a quid pro quo. He was live on television and made mention to $1 billion worth of loan guarantees for Ukraine. And if they didn't get rid of a certain prosecutor who was prosecuting or potentially investigating Hunter Biden at Burisma, that he would refuse to give them the loan guarantees. Not only did he leverage the loan guarantees, which the money don't belong to him, it belongs to the American people. Not only did he leverage the money, he gave them a deadline and an ultimatum. His deadline was that at the end of business, if y'all have not fired this prosecutor, I'm going to refuse to give you the loan guarantee. One of the Ukrainian leaders said, well, you're not Barack Obama, meaning you're not the president of the United States of America. And Joe Biden, in an interview, is live. This is recorded. You can play it today. That he goes on to say, well, I said, if y'all don't do this, I'm not going to give you the loan guarantee. So screw you is pretty much what he was saying. And then he said, what do you know? They fired the prosecutor, and we gave him the money. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a quid pro quo. That means I do something for you, you do something for me in exchange for something, right? You do this for me, then I'll give you the money. If you don't do this, I'm not giving you the money. Therefore, there's an exchange for a favor. That is a quid pro quo. It was recorded. The world can see it. It's Stevie Wonder could see it. I don't know how the man hadn't been in trouble over this way back when he made the statement while he was vice president. But then we go down the list, and there is more. His son. Listen, if Trump Jr. or I don't know, Barron is too young, but if Trump Jr. or what's his other son name? I forget his Eric Trump. If one of them was as devious as Hunter Biden, we still be hearing about it today. Sex tapes or whatever they got, they have them all up. They'll play Trump's son's sex tapes on national television unedited if they could. If it existed, they would go so low to play it on national television in front of your kids because they want to ruin Trump that bad. But Hunter Biden has a plethora of evidence and video and pictures, laptops of him snorting coke off prostitutes. And the media is literally turning to Helen Keller because they don't want anybody to even know it exists. They want to make the Democrats seem clean as a whistle. Now, I'll tell you this. Not only is Biden's son knee-deep in criminal activity and also nefarious behavior and receiving money from foreign governments while his daddy was vice president, Joe Biden lied about him knowing about his son's business deals, and he was on phone calls where they were doing business deals, and Joe Biden was using his leverage as vice president to seal financial gain for his own family. How in God's green earth he haven't gotten impeached is beyond me. They suppressed the story. They suppressed the laptop story before the election. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we even talking about? This dude should have been in jail over this stuff. But why are Republicans dragging their feet, taking so long? Well, we're going to do an inquiry about an inquiry and then think about it, something that we're going to think about thinking about. Man, just impeach the man. Clearly, you don't need to have that much evidence. Y'all got plenty. Let me walk you through. My producer sent me this, and I think this is great from Just the News. It says Kevin McCarthy's letter lays out 5 grounds for Biden's impeachment probe. It's a probe, and it's not impeachment. It's a probe. Oh, we got that clip. Do we have the clip of the quid pro quo? Oh, from Dead Man Joe? Okay, perfect. Let's play the clip because I don't want you guys to think Brandon Tatum just made this up out of thin air because he's a Republican. Play the clip of Joe Biden committing a quid pro quo in front of the world. Roll the clip.
Our team or others to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
They got rid of him and they put in place somebody who's solid. Now, in all fairness, if there wasn't a lot of other corruption involved in this, then one can say, hey, we were looking out in our best interest as a country. We don't want to give loan. This is crazy. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. This could be an excuse, but we know it's not the excuse. So look at what we're doing today. But anyway, let me go back to the point I was trying to make. So it could be an example of our country saying, look, you guys are not doing the right thing. Your government is corrupt. We're not giving you no money if you're corrupt. Get rid of that corrupt guy and we'll make it happen. That could have been an argument. But his son is on the board of Burisma Holdings, and he's making millions of dollars, and the dude he's over there smoking crack. He don't know the language. He don't have any experience in the business. He making money. And that company is being investigated by this particular prosecutor. Listen, it's a conflict of interest. At minimum, this should have never happened. At minimum, we should be investigating this. Where's the investigation? I haven't seen it anywhere. But let me read you this article real quick. I think I'm running out of time. Kevin McCarthy's letter lays out 5 grounds for Biden's impeachment probe. Public officials are not for sale. Okay, let me read it real quick. It says Biden made false statements to the American public to get elected, and since he took office, including denying his family's involvement with China. All right. And then the second one is the president facilitated his family enrichment as Barack Obama's vice president by joining phone calls and meetings with his son Hunter's business associates. Our witnesses' testimony revealed that the president joined multiple phone calls and had various interactions with his son's business partners as vice president. Let me squeeze this last one in. Biden presided over a family that collected nearly $20 million in foreign proceeds, some from oligarchs of concern to the U.S. Over 150 bank transaction flags as suspicious.